So I just need to let my colleagues know what you're doing.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Can I ask why you're recording it?
Just for my own interest.
Okay. So from my point of view, you know, I need to consider security of the police station.
Yep.
It's unusual for somebody to be filming.
Well,
officers.
you may feel it's unusual, but I don't.
Okay. So why? What's your motivation for filming?
It's a public service what we pay for.
Okay. It's unusual. You're the first person I've ever known in 25 years.
No. I'm quite sure that you know about people filming police stations.
Well, it concerns me, I've got to say.
Yeah, but whether or not it concerns you or not, and what the actual law is, okay, your concern and what the law is are completely different. Because what I'm doing is a completely lawful activity. Okay. And as long as I break no laws, commit no crime, then I'm well within my actual rights to do what I'm doing.
Okay.
And regardless to what anyone's views and opinions are, those views and opinions do not trump my rights.
Okay. And can I ask your name?
I don't need to give that.
Okay. So you're giving me some cause for concern now because you're next to the police station.
Well, why do I need to give my name?
Because you're filming the police station.
So because I'm doing a lawful activity, I'm meant to give my name. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that, did I? What I said to you is, I've given you my name, I'm asking yours, I'm slightly concerned what your motivation is.
Yeah, and as I said, I don't need to give my name.
Okay. Can you take your hands out of your pockets for me?
Nope, I don't need to. I don't need to do anything. You asked me.
Okay, you're being slightly obstructive. You're not giving me your name.
No,
your hands
I don't.
In your pocket, and I'm slightly concerned.
Yeah, my hands were in my pocket even before you got here, sir.
Okay, I'm being completely reasonable with you. Take your hands out of your pocket so I can see.
No, don't tell me what to do. I don't need to do anything. Okay, if you need to, please take a step back. Please step backwards, okay? You approach me. No, you approach me, okay? If you're unsure, then I would actually advise you then to please step backwards. I would stand in here and I would ask you to actually step back, please,
So
sir.
what I will say to you is, I don't need to take a step back. I'm quite comfortable.
And I don't need to take my hand out of my pocket.
But what I said is, okay, could you take your hands out?
And I said no, because I don't need to.
Okay. Well, then it gives me concern that you may be
What? Because I've got pockets in my clothing and my hand goes into a pocket, that's giving you concern.
What's giving me concern is it's very unusual for somebody to come and film a police station.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I've never known it before.
Then if that's the case, then you are well and truly behind the times as an officer in your position.
But I've never known it. And what I've got is a chap who won't give me his name, who's got his hand in his pocket, who's giving me cause for concern.
Okay, so my hand in my pocket, okay, doing a completely lawful activity, okay, because of your feelings, not what the law is. Those are your feelings. That's not the law.
What I'm telling you is,
no. Please don't tell me. Please do not tell me.
You're doing an unusual activity, and you've got your hand.
Is it lawful? Is it lawful?
I've been quite reasonable with you, and I'm asking.
Is what I'm doing lawful?
At the moment, it would appear to be.
Right, it is, okay? Well, there you go, okay? You've answered your own question. So whatever you do as of this point, okay, will be unlawful because of what you've just stated.
Because I've asked you to take your hand out of your
pocket. And I said no.
I
don't have to take orders from you.
I didn't ask you to take orders from
Telling me to take my hand out of my pocket is an order. Okay? And I said no. Okay? And I don't have to do that.
So I'll ask you again, what's your name, please?
I don't have to give my name.
I've tried to be quite reasonable with you.
Yeah, and I've done nothing wrong. I do not have to give my details. That is my lawful right not to give my details. Okay? And me having my hand in my own pocket, okay, whatever your concerns and your feelings are, those are your concerns and feelings.
The inspector's request here falls short. The simple test is, an officer's feelings don't create suspicion. Having a hand in a pocket is a normal, everyday action, not reasonable grounds for suspicion of a crime. By treating it as a threat, the officer appears to be manufacturing concern to justify his questioning. Will he escalate from here?
Okay. So, you said this is an unusual activity.
No, you said that.
No, you said that.
No, you said it was unusual.
I said it seemed a very unusual activity.
Yeah, and I said to you, it may seem unusual. To me, it's not.
All right, before we even get into the first minute of this footage, buckle in, because what you're about to see is one of the most quietly explosive exchanges between a police inspector and a perfectly calm, perfectly within his rights auditor. This isn't shouting. This isn't aggression. This is tension built purely from power, misunderstanding, and the battle over who actually knows the law. On one side, we have a seasoned detective inspector, 25 years on the job, absolutely convinced he's encountering something unusual. On the other, we have a member of the public who knows exactly what he's allowed to do and refuses to surrender an inch of his legal rights. This setup is classic, a mismatch between feelings versus rights.
You don't get paranoid, okay? Right? I'm going to take a memo out of my bag that got issued to every single police station, and I'm going to hand it to you to read.
Thank you.
Okay?
If it helps me understand why you're here.
Well, this is what I call a first-class education, and that is what this is. Okay? It is a complete first-class education. Okay? Now you know who the NPCC are, yes?
I do.
Right. Okay. Right. There we go. Okay. If you'd like to take it, you can actually read through it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Take it as long as you want. It makes no difference for me. Okay. You can see the date of when that was issued as well. So, and that got issued to every single force. So that's why I said, before people actually come and make assumptions, they should actually know what people can lawfully do.
To be fair, if you go back to the start of the conversation, and you've clearly recorded it, so you can do. I was asking you what you were doing. I haven't told you I haven't asked you to stop, have I?
Okay. Well, you were trying to tell me to take my hand out of my pocket.
Because
you were trying to force me to give you my
I asked
name.
You to take your hand out of your pocket,
okay.
Because it gives me concern that you've got your hand in your pocket, and I want to keep myself safe.
And I want to keep myself safe.
I just want to make sure that you haven't got anything in there.
And why do you?
Here's our first real moment of friction. Notice how the inspector immediately frames the filming as a security concern, even though nothing illegal is happening. This is a common tactic, shifting the narrative from rights to risk. Meanwhile, the auditor responds with a perfectly calm correction. What's unusual to an officer is not automatically unlawful. This contrast is important because it highlights the enormous gap between police assumptions and public freedoms. Also watch the tone. The inspector isn't hostile yet, but he's already trying to assert authority by implying the auditor must justify himself. This is where the psychological tug-of-war begins. The auditor isn't rude, but he refuses the implied hierarchy.
I think I keep a distance from you.
Well, you haven't really.
No, I have.
We're at a
conversation. I have. It's more than an arm's length. If we were shoulder to shoulder, then that's not keeping a distance. So does that now give you a much better idea now?
What I'm reading?
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
So, and that's why I said, that is with every single force and in every single police station.
But you could have just given me.
I don't need. Yeah, but I don't need to give you that.
Made it a lot easier.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but I do not need to give. No, but the whole point. The whole point of people filming is to see whether or not you will actually abuse your officer power, okay, and actually try and take somebody's rights away from them.
Well, I hope you will see that most police officers are reasonable. You clearly can understand, but I would want to know why you were here.
Okay, right. Well then, as a detective inspector, okay, right now, okay, with Surrey Police Force, okay, do you know how many officers are currently on suspension from 2021 to 22?
Nationally?
No.
This section is almost comedic. The inspector claims he's never seen someone film a station in 25 years. Meanwhile, auditing has been around for well over a decade and widely known in the UK. This moment reveals something important. The inspector is speaking from personal experience, not legal knowledge. That's why he keeps defaulting to phrases like, "It concerns me." But concern is not law. Concern isn't reasonable suspicion. Concern isn't grounds for a stop. The auditor recognizes this immediately and doesn't let the conversation drift into personal feelings. This back and forth is a perfect example of the clash between subjective discomfort and objective legality. And the auditor's quick "no" interrupts the inspector's.
Say what the numbers are, please. Not everyone can actually read them.
1171 NA. No
Thank
worries.
you.
So what's the purpose of filming today?
For my own purpose.
Yeah, what's the purpose?
My own purpose.
Just what's the purpose?
Because I want to film.
Okay. Obviously, when we see people filming outside, we get a little bit worried.
Yes.
There's terrorism, things like that.
Okay, so
That's
you calling
why we
me a
asked.
terrorist?
I'm asking your purpose.
Okay, well then can you tell me then the last time when a police station was actually hit by a terrorist?
Well, that's not the point.
Okay, yes it is the point, because it's predominantly, okay, it will be the public that will get hit by a terrorist, not the police.
I think that's incorrect.
No, it's not incorrect. You've only got to look at past events, okay, and you will actually see that. And then you, when you look at the last police station, the last police station that actually got hit by a bomb, okay, was in 1972.
By a terrorist. How about that?
Okay, yeah, that was a stabbing.
Yeah, that's a terrorist act.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So then, if that's the case, then should we then talk about a certain officer that killed a young woman when he was in
wasn't a
uniform?
terrorist act.
No, but that was a member of the police. That was a member of the police, okay, that actually killed a member of the public.
Right.
Okay.
So what's the point of that and terrorism?
Because it's my right, okay.
I'm not saying it's
to
not your
film,
right, but I'm asking
okay,
why you're filming.
because I can.
Yeah, but for what reason? So you've
My
come out here
own
today-
reason. My
you've
own
come out
reason.
here today,
I don't need to explain to you why I want to film.
But we're asking you why. I mean, we've got powers under the Terrorist Act.
What,
to
Section
search
43?
You, to search you.
And
to
if
search
you
your
use
phone.
Section 43, okay, it will be unlawful for one.
For why?
Okay,
Why is
because
that?
it's my lawful right.
Right.
And if you actually read the actual memo that got sent by the IOPCC,
Okay.
IOPCC, sorry, back in 2020, right, it will actually state that people can actually film a police station,
Yeah.
okay, police staff, police vehicles, okay, and Section 43 should not be used, okay, in
But
that
what about
actual
hostile
event.
reconnaissance? What about that?
Okay.
What
Do
if we see you filming outside?
Asterisk, this is one of the strongest, clearest rights-based statements you'll hear in footage like this. The auditor lays out the distinction between emotion and law with precision, and he does it respectfully. This is where the tension spikes, because the inspector now realizes he's dealing with someone who won't fold under vague authority. The line, "Your views and opinions do not trump my rights," is the first major turning point. It signals that the auditor knows the boundaries, and the inspector now has to decide whether he'll respect them or try to override them. And as we'll see, he chooses escalation disguised as concern. It's subtle.
Going in. I'm not going in.
Ground.
I'm not going in.
So I've asked you.
You made a presumption
why are you-
that I may
why-
go in.
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, you made a
We
presumption.
can't take that chance. 'Cause
Yeah, I know.
apparently terrorists don't attack us. They do. I
Okay.
just gave you an example, haven't I? A few
Yeah,
years ago.
and then should we then talk about actual people then that get abused by the police on a daily basis?
Is that what you're filming for?
Okay.
Are you seeing if police are abusing people within the custody?
Well, yeah, you tried to say about using Section 43, okay, and that would have been an abuse of power.
Well, it's not an abuse of
You
power.
used,
You're
you said the
filming
terrorism,
a police
yeah,
building,
which is a completely
which
lawful
could be seen
activity.
as
It's a
hostile
completely
reconnaissance.
lawful activity.
Right. But
It's
it
a
could be
lawful
seen-
activity.
You're not letting me speak.
It makes no difference.
Well,
Good afternoon.
Hello, have you spoken to one of our colleagues earlier?
I've spoken to several of your colleagues.
At the police station, yeah?
Yeah.
That is in out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Could you identify yourself for
Yes,
me, please?
PC McKenna, 1263.
Thank you very much.
why do you get so anti when police come and speak to you?
I'm not anti.
Surely it's a good thing. that-
No, I've
that
had
we're
I've
being
had
protected from our
several
buildings.
good interactions here today.
Right.
Okay, with 3 other officers. I've had
Okay.
some really nice interactions with them.
Okay. So you're
Right,
saying this isn't
and
a
not
nice
one,
interaction.
not one of them even attempted to bring up to do with terrorists.
Well, the first thing
not
I see
one of
when
them.
people come outside a police building and start filming, that's the first thing I see. That's what I think. That's it.
Well, then you need to actually rethink your actual mindset, okay?
I don't think so.
Well, yes, you do, okay? And when you see a member of the public, whether or not they're filming or not, okay, maybe if you actually approach and say, can I help you, okay, like you did when you stuck your head out the
Yeah, I
van,
did.
okay, but then it should be, okay, is there anything else I can do for you, whatever, okay? I should be allowed to carry on and do what I'm lawfully allowed to
I've
do,
allowed you to. You've been filming me for ages.
okay,
So I've allowed you to.
okay? Well, it's not about you allowing me to.
You've just told me to allow you to.
It's not about you allowing me to. It's something that I'm rightfully within my rights to do so.
Right, okay. You've just told me to allow you to. I have for about 10 minutes now. So.
What's
Okay.
what's your first name?
I won't give my name.
Okay. What are you auditing? Just out of interest.
Pardon?
You're auditing, right?
I am,
What
correct.
Are you auditing?
A public building, okay, and a public service.
What is it? Just the amount of police officers come out, or the vehicles?
No, just whatever I can see. Just whatever I can see. Whether or not a vehicle comes out, okay, an officer comes out, makes no difference. I'll film whatever I can
Is
see.
it just police stations you do, or do you go into any other?
Any
public building?
public service.
So like a library? Would you go to
Okay,
a library?
yep.
Fire brigade?
Yep.
Okay, I'm literally just
Yeah, no,
scoping. Just
it's anything that the
finding out.
public. It's anything that the public pay for.
And what
Okay,
do you do
that's a
with
public
that
service.
information?
It all depends. It all depends.
On what you see?
Yeah, I use it for my own personal.
Asterisk right here. The inspector attempts one of the most common traps, asking for identity without legal grounds. Pay attention to how he phrases it. He doesn't order it, he asks. But psychologically, he's pushing toward compliance by presenting it as the normal thing to do. The auditor counters perfectly by pointing out the logical flaw. If the filming is lawful, then the request for ID is based only on the officer's discomfort. Again, feelings is not equal to suspicion. This moment is a masterclass in power negotiation. The inspector becomes visibly irritated, but still hasn't articulated a single legal basis for ID.